God is our shepherd, I shall not want him, because I like down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water them. Him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I that the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yeah! Though I RASTA go walk through the valley and the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted Yaa-Naa. Unu prepare a table before I in the presence of our enemy them. Unu anointed I head with no oil. The cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy I go follow I all the days of I Ivan. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Cha, Kedemawe, Gromawe, This is the Black Pot, aka Kuku Show them up. And here we speak truth to power. Come here. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Now, in every traditional African home, there is a black pot, and each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something super sumptuous cooking. Ingredients of so many different types, shapes, and sizes, aromas, and also flavors come together right inside the African black pot, and they are subjected to some good amount of heating. In the aftermath, they produce nothing but very sumptuous food in all its palatability and nutritiousness. This is what we do right here. We bring so many different ideas together, cook that up in the black pot, and we bring out the best in terms of nutrition to feed the nation and feed our people and our land. We never criticize. But if we must criticize, we never say never. We criticize on one condition, only to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. Come here! And of course, remember to hit on the like button and also share the broadcast. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Oh gosh, pick up the numbers and do business with us. Here, we speak truth to power in the service of God and country. Today, we have 3 beautiful stories to share with you as usual. We're going to keep it to half an hour. So we start now. Story number 1, and we are live on YouTube and Facebook. Yaa-Naa closes down school. Wow. Yesterday, a viewer drew our attention to the fact that Yaa-Naa, which simply means the king of strength. Yes. The king, the overlord of Dagbon, had closed down a certain school in the north. And we said we hadn't heard it. Well, we promised that if it is something that has truly happened, then we will bring it to you today. We are keeping our promise. This is the king of Dagbon. Any gathering he goes to, in fact, bees lead the way. And some other bees follow him from the back. He is the king of bees. He is a very powerful king, my brother, my sister. And every gathering he goes to, he leaves a very powerful traditional mark. I love him. I really, really love him. But can we go into the details of this story? From Ghana Web, it says dispute over principal selection leads to closure of St. Vincent College by Dagbon Wura. There's nothing like Dagbon Wura. There is nothing like Dagbon Wura. It's Yaa-Naa. It is the people of the Gonja area that use Wura, like your Wura. There's nothing like the Wura. We have the overlord of the Yaa-Naa, and that is him sitting there, Mahama Abukari. Run the story, my youth. Watch this. Now, a delegation representing the overlord of the Yaa-Naa Mahama Abukari has ordered the closure of the administrative offices of St. Vincent College of Education at Yendi. Now, the move follows a dispute over the selection process for the institution's new principal. Now, the college recently faced a leadership vacancy after the retirement of its principal. While the Yaa-Naa recommended a candidate for the position, the college's governing board opted for a different individual, sparking tensions. Now, in response, the registrar of the Dagbon Traditional Council, Alasan Abdul Fattah, directed the staff and management to lock the offices and vacate the premises until further notice. Fattah cited the board's decision to bypass the overlord's recommendation as a sign of disrespect towards the Dagbon kingdom. He noted the historical lack of Dagomba representation in the college's leadership as a contributing factor to the frustration. Since the establishment of the college, there has never been a Dagomba principal. Now, the school board did not even inform the king about the vacancy. Now, the king only learned about it after hearing that interviews were being conducted to fill the position. Fattah explained. Now, the overlord of Dagbon has requested that the board considers an applicant from the kingdom to address perceptions of bias against local candidates. However, the board proceeded to appoint an individual from outside the Dagbon kingdom. The youth of Yendi decided that since the board disregarded the king's directive, the college offices would be closed until an amicable solution is reached. Fattah added. How do I tackle it? This is very sensitive. I know the area very well. I've been to the Yaa-Naa's palace. I have a lot of respect for traditional authority. But it's all about Ghana. Nobody's bigger than the truth. My brother, Yaa-Naa has no right to close down any school in any part of the region. The Yaa-Naa is bigger than closing schools. When Asante went and sent people, wherever it was, some representatives in the name of Asante went and closed down a certain radio station. I think it was called Oyirpa or something, I'm not too sure, in Kumasi. We came out and said, no. You are bigger than going around closing schools. You are bigger than going around commissioning toilets and bathrooms. You are bigger than going around and commissioning potholes that have been repaired in the area. You are supposed to be the traditional authority of the land. Now let's get into the bigger issue. Listen attentively. Yaa-Naa has made a very important suggestion and observation. What is Yaa-Naa talking about? Since the school came into being, St. Vincent College of Education, right there in Yendi, the heart and capital of Dagbon, there has never been one local representative from the area. And Yaa-Naa says, I've heard so much about bias in your choices. This time, this is the person I suggest. As an educationist myself, I know this person is qualified. He has that, he has that, he has that. But again, I respect your authority. Look into it and see if this person is truly qualified and if the person can take over the position so that we will quell all the storms coming in concerning bias. The people go around, they decide that they will not heed the Yaa-Naa's suggestion or lobbying, you may call it. Did they go back to the Yaa-Naa to tell the Yaa-Naa, you know what, with all respect, this candidate that you brought in is good, but it's not as qualified as this other person we are bringing in. And since excellence is the key thing, we would like to go for the most qualified. My brother, it's done all over the world. Even in our political scape. You know what we do? Sometimes presidents are asked to consider the other gender. What is the other gender? The gender aside my gender, the female gender. in some of his what? Suggestions and appointments. Am I right? So if two women come for a certain position and a man is also there, another man and another man, maybe 5 men and 2 women come in there. They are all looking for the same position. If they are all equally qualified, listen, the catchword is equally qualified. We prefer taking the woman because we are considering to have more women in this administration. It does not mean in any way that if 5 men come and they are more qualified than the 2 women, we should put the men away and pick the women because our priority at this point is women. No, that is discrimination. That is mediocrity. Shall we look at it again so people can understand this properly? I am saying when we say we need to appoint more women, it doesn't mean we should go and appoint Hawa Yakubu over Mami Ya, who is more qualified. No, or Hawa Yakubu or Yakubu Ruhia over a man who is more qualified. No, they should all be equally qualified. Then we can go for the gender that we want to promote. It is done everywhere. Hi, even in some areas in Ghana, it's still happening. A certain secondary school will say, okay, we need this quota for the people from our area. Maybe 20%, maybe 30%. It's done everywhere in the world. It's just to be able to encourage more people to be able to get access to a certain kind of thing. So if Yaa-Naa goes to these people to say, you know what? This is what I am observing. And the youth in the area are not happy. This school has been here for this long. And we have never had a representative from us. We understand that you have to be qualified first. We want to say we have so many qualified people. One of them is this person. Please look forward. If there are other people as qualified as him, because he's from the area, can you give him the olive branch so that he can move into the office just by way of consideration? He hasn't said anything wrong. And the authorities said, no. We are yet to hear from the authorities as to whether the person they have picked over the Yaa-Naa's choice is more qualified. Then we can't say anything. Again, we want to find out, have they gone back to the Yaa-Naa respectfully to tell the Yaa-Naa, Yaa-Naa, despite everything, you want development for your people. This principal that you have suggested, he is not as qualified as this person that is here. And these are the reasons against the person you have brought. Yaa-Naa is a very reasonable person, an educationist. I'm sure he will sit back and say, okay, bring my representative back to the palace. He will talk to the person and say, your time will come. You know what? Upgrade here, upgrade there. We'll send you for more experience so that when you return, nobody can cough when you get to that kind. But if we have the penchant of putting square pegs in round holes or near square pegs in near round holes, my brother, my sister, we will be doing ourselves a very terrible harm. Can I conclude on this? Yaa-Naa is bigger than sending representatives to close schools. And according to this write-up, Yaa-Naa did not order the closure of the school. It is the traditional council, but did they confer with the Yaa-Naa before this happened? It's not mentioned in the write-up. Yaa-Naa is too much of a great king to be going around closing schools or commissioning toilets or bathrooms. Yaa-Naa, when he was invited by the Asante Hene and even Achim Hene, you know what happened? He was followed by bees. If anything at all, Yaa-Naa could have sat in his palace and sent the bees to ransack the whole school and sack the new principal away. He has the power to do that. And he's demonstrated it. Please, can you find me photos of Yaa-Naa being followed by bees? And then you would see what I'm talking about. Yaa-Naa and bees. You know what bees can do? They can increase the size of your nose. They can increase the size of your eye. all they need to do is to sting you. Bees can make you miserable, yet they can also make you very happy by giving you some sweet honey. Yaa-Naa moves with bees. Yaa-Naa did not need to send people to go and close that school. He only needed bees to go and swarm the place and sit in the office of the principal, and we will see how the principal will sit in the office. But again, on a more serious note, please, I am not happy that Yaa-Naa, the whole Yaa-Naa, is involved in the closure of a school. That is if he is. Yaa-Naa is bigger than closing a school. I am not happy that the school administration could not sit down with Yaa-Naa to say, Yaa-Naa, this is it, this is it, this is it. My brother, my sister, it is what it is. This is most unnecessary. I think it could have been sorted out before getting to where it is now. It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kokoshonamo, where we speak truth to power. I promise you I'm going to follow this issue to get the deeper facts aside just what has been published. I know there is something deeper. If Asante Hene, and we always say Asante Hene because Asante Hene is the greatest king in Ghana right now. Not the oldest kingdom. The oldest kingdom is Dagbon. Remember I said Dagbon. And when we say Dagbon, is bigger than just Dagomba. Depending on how your history has been taught you. Let's respect traditional authority. It's an honor for the Yaa-Naa